Welcome back, folks. Optimus Prime and Marky Mark are teaming up this weekend for a new installment of Transformers. Kind of excited to see Mark Wahlberg in this. Devin D. O'Leary of the Weekly Alibi here to talk about this. So, yeah, the first movie we are taking a look at is Transformers: Age of Extinction.
Bring it up. All the way.
Dad, you can't keep spending money on junk.
All right, so the first thing that we're going to notice in this, aside from the Dinobots, is...
well, that's a big thing.
Yeah. Shia LaBeouf is gone. We
Yes.
now have Mark Wahlberg. Tell us about this movie.
Well, of course, it's the fourth film now in the Transformers franchise from Michael Bay, who likes to come out every summer and blow stuff up for us. He's gotten rid of last cast, so if we were huge fans of Shia LaBeouf, I don't know if you'll shed a tear for losing him, but we've got Mark Wahlberg, who's definitely been he's been a bigger and bigger player in Hollywood every year. Now he's a big action star, and so he's in charge of this one. He plays a poor mechanic who buys an old beat-up semi and tries fixing it up and realizes that it's a Transformer, and he gets involved with a giant government conspiracy to fight off more Decepticons. And I think if you've seen any of the previous films, even if you've seen commercials for the previous films, you have a pretty clear idea of what you're getting into on the fourth Transformers installment.
Gotcha. So if you're a fan of the series, you'll like this. If you're looking, are we going to, aside from the Dinobots, is there something new that we're going to see in this?
Oh, no. No. It's another close to 3-hour version of things blowing up. Yeah, I actually just read an article about somebody who sat down and watched all 3 original Transformers films at the same time, and they realized that they're kind of all the exact same film. You can actually watch the same actions happen in all 3 films at the same time. So no, you're not going to get anything new. But if you are a fan of Transformers, if you want the robots in disguise, big budget action film for the summer.
All right, now something that is probably the complete antithesis of a big budget action film, but one that I'm really intrigued by this film, Obvious Child. Let's take a look.
That was the worst.
It wasn't that bad.
Creative energy sometimes comes.
All right, so this one hit at Sundance, and it seems like this is going to be a big star turn for the female lead. Now, I'm unfamiliar with her. Tell us a little bit about this.
Her name is Jenny Slate, and she's really an up-and-comer. She was on Saturday Night Live for a little while. She's had big roles on Parks and Recreation, and she's been in Crawl Show, the sketch comedy show, for a couple of seasons. And she's really interesting, and this is a huge turn for her. It's a small film out of New York by a first-time writer-director. She plays a struggling comedian in New York who, a couple weeks before Valentine's Day, gets dumped by her boyfriend and loses her job and decides, oh, I'm just going to have a fling, and then winds up getting pregnant too. So just sort of her whole life falls apart. And the weird thing is it's a comedy as well.
It's a comedy.
And Jenny Slate does an amazing job. She's really very funny, playing a pretty dirty female comedian, but then she's got these really emotional moments in the film where she's really kind of struggling what to do with her life. And at the same time, it's kind of a nice romantic comedy. It's a weird combination of a lot of things. Definitely an adult film, very grown up, decent amount of raunchy humor, and some pretty heavy-duty subjects as well. But it's a nicely done little independent film, not the kind of thing you see a lot over the summertime. So if you're definitely looking for the opposite of Transformers, this is a nice film for that.
Well, and as you were talking dirty and raunchy, of course, our third film hitting with James McAvoy's Filth. Now, this comes from the author of Trainspotting. Let's take a look.
What does that make me then?
You're a policeman.
Bingo.
All right, so what can we expect from this film?
Well, this is kind of nutso. This is if you've seen Trainspotting, you have some idea of what it's like. Irvine Welsh, who wrote the novel for Trainspotting, also wrote the novel for Filth. And James McAvoy, who we just saw in the last X-Men film, Days of Future Past, plays a police detective in Scotland who is incredibly corrupt. He likes drugs. He likes sleeping with women. He's racist. He hates people. He's just a horrible human being, and yet he's involved in this murder investigation, and it just explores this ridiculous, over-the-top, crazy, violent, ridiculous, drug-filled, music-filled world. Very much like Trainspotting, but even more over-the-top, even crazier and dirtier and more wicked.
Now, this is happening at the Guild. Is this the midnight movie?
No, this is going to be running this whole week at the Guild.
The whole week.
Yeah,
okay,
it's a big run for them. independent film out of England, but James McAvoy, whose star is obviously rising,
Great
he's
actor.
a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
He really commands this film. I mean, he's been doing some really good stuff here and there, but I think this is the film that you're going to be like, whoa, this
Wow.
guy is amazing. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, for a complete list of reviews, what is happening on the big screen and the small screen, pick up a Weekly Alibi on newsstands now. Head over to thealibi.com. And, of course, we will have links at casa.com. Let's head over to Brittany now.